Anka's location had definitely been picked out there, but off to a really good start here as SV. Again, defensive bias map here for HG. Didn't quite see how it turned out that B point there was completely undefended. But they will have two men holding it this time in Minnow and WN, or excuse me, not WN99. He is holding in mid, it would appear. Yeah, there he is in mid on your screen there. Across the way, that will be Minnow and Maple. Got a full 5-man unit here, looking like it's going to be a hard B execute. Buddy hopping from Emsen to try and come in from mid. He's going to need to pick up a couple here. Doesn't find it. And the entry going incredibly well there for MP. Going to pick up one with the Deagle. Nice headshot from him. And running low on time here. Already down to about 20 seconds. Gonna need to win that trade. Isn't able to find it. And Anka gonna pick up a double there. And slow start here for HG. They might consider calling a pause here. Especially if they lose this round. Do not want to go down rounds on the defensive side here. I think you'd like to get out at least 5-4. It's pretty devastating. Oh, get a free open up here. Emzig does get taken down in the end by MP. But again, looking like they're going to be pretty much free onto this A site. And MP, I don't know how he didn't see anyone, but the communication certainly didn't come across as free backstab there. Very strange. Smoke is going to come down into mid. And pretty interesting there. We did see MP take down Emzen, both using M4s for that round. Okay, changing up the strategy a little bit. We've seen him find some success there from that area. And 18, again, stepping into mid, not going to find anything. And K gets one, but not the second. But now they're committed here to the A point. Double kill now for Double Q. And W99 going to pick him up. And into the 3-on-2 here, but bomb not yet planted. A nice tag there onto Emsen. He's going to go down with the bomb in hand. And Maple picking up one himself will. Yeah, and it does look like that timeout did come out for HG. Looks like they might have called it a little bit too late at the end of that last round to get it in time. So it came after this round. I think that's still fine. Certainly got something to talk about because on the defense here for Port, they need to be making more progress than they have so far. MP looking down towards... I wonder if that is Lincoln K there on to his left. We had been seeing... I do believe he was to his right on the last game, but they could have been on the other side of the stage. As you would expect, most of the conversation to be between those two members. The veteran of... And we haven't seen too much out of either N9 or K yet. It's really, frags have been pretty spread out around the team. Maybe Anka off to a good start. WN99 also having a pretty decent start here for himself. But they need to put more rounds together here for HG. Staring down the camera a little bit during the pause. And this is completely unexpected. Mzin taking control of the conversation here during the timeout, really giving them what for, even though they are leading. And definitely one of the best leaders in the game there. If there is to be a CrossFire Hall of Fame, he's definitely already earned his spot. And ironically, there's another guy who most likely would get a spot in that Hall of Fame. Okay, there again. Pretty sure both of those players have been in the league since about season 1 or 2. Now into season 10. Long careers for both of them. Double Q here. Previously a member of HG. No hard feelings for the move. I'm pretty sure he is still friends there with most of HG. And they found a pretty good replacement for him in Maple there to the left with the frosted tips. He's definitely been starting to make a name for himself in his own right. Still has some improvement to be made, I think, for that player. But in a good position on HG to do that. 18 having a laugh now, and that timeout gonna go the distance. Could have a bit of a technical timeout added on to the end here, as it does seem like time should have run out there for them. Not sure what the holdup is here, but we do see headsets starting to go on. Does look like we are ready to get into game. See if HG can't turn it around here. They need to get out at least 5-4 on that defensive side to really feel like they're not behind. And even then, I swear, for Port, it's like 5.5 on the defensive side is how many you want. Like 5 is not bad, but it's also not good. But then 6 is good. 6, you feel good. It does not seem like the quick fix there from IT has gotten the job done, as I am falling again behind live. And that is no fun. I think I'm just going to make them set me up another monitor here with just the feed so that I don't have to watch it in the... Anyway, don't need to bore you guys with that stuff, as we are already done with the round. And, well, there goes that idea. Wait, but I swear HG had picked up the round right before timeout. I thought we were in 3. No, I guess I'm definitely just remembering this wrong. And already SV looking like they're poised to take map 1 here. This is, of course, SV's map pick. So not the end of the world here for HG if they do drop this one, as they will be moving to subbase, which is Definitely one of their better maps. Pretty quiet on the comms here early. Don't hear much in my ears there. Okay, they're holding deep behind the boxes. And could see a confrontation here of our featured matchup, as it doesn't look like N9 was cheating towards that side. And now that the bomb is picked up, we might see some sort of indication as to what the play is here. Well, does look like the A execute is going to come out. Emzen in position to turn and take a shot towards MP on that A point, but he is going to reposition to try and dodge out these flash grenades. But his location should be covered on this set piece. Does look like Ankaz is coming in the direction. He's going to get a nice counter flash here. Going to get hit by a grenade pretty heavily. And, ooh, a nice kill there from MP. He's going to... Oh, it's going to be WN99 taking down the next one. And in that round, we did actually see K take down N9. So, as I was saying about that featured matchup, neither off to the best start here between two star players for each of their teams. N9 1-2 post pause, as well as K. NP sitting at 4-1, and Emzen sitting at 3-1. And MP going to pick up another one here. And a TK there from Emzen. Maybe Double Q giving him some lip and decides to teach him a lesson in game. But definitely looking like he shot him in the back. In the back there. Just absolutely rude. But he's going to turn it onto MP there and pick one up. So perhaps forgiven a little bit. Still in a 3-on-4 situation. HG doing a good job there not to bite on that pick from Emzen, as K in such a good position here. That position's going to get checked, but not fast enough. It's pretty surprising to see them check that position. Thought K could get in there for some free backstabs, and that will go ahead and end the round. WN99, again, looking good in this first half. Something you can't say for the rest of his team, except for maybe MP, especially towards those later rounds. They kept themselves in it here, HG, but it's going to be a long hill to climb here. Down 5-4 at the half. On other maps, you'd feel that that's a pretty okay situation to be in. You just have to pick up an extra round there on the blacklist side. But here on port, it can be a little bit more difficult. And a lot of equipment coming out towards B, but it does look like it's going to be a fake, and then immediately looking for it at that pick at mid, and they do get it. So now the B pincer move here is going to try to come out, and it's going to get stuffed here by 18 and Double Q with double kills respectively. K all alone, but he's in the 2-on-1, and Double Q is on a sliver of health, so still definitely doable here, but he's got to get past his featured matchup here with N9. He would have loved to have found Double Q with that bomb, but they're holding deep into the warehouses here, as we see N9 thinking about pushing forward aggressively, but I think wisely they're going to try and stay together a little bit, and just couldn't find it there on the N9. Got the open up, and one kill. That was pretty much a straight up 1v1. Ooh. How on earth did Emzen find that one? just straight out of spawn. Maybe, what, 2 seconds in, if that, finding a kill onto K there. Ooh, that's a little bit ridiculous. We saw a quick replay there. Couldn't be any longer because that was round start is where that replay started. But some aggression there out of Minnow, gonna even things up. Does push, I believe he pushed through a smoke there to make that play. And he's looking for more. Spraying back and forth in warehouses. Making a lot of noise. But SV not buying it yet. That being said, they've got plenty of time to work here. 119. And he's going to pick up another one. He's going to solo clear out this B site. But he might get... 18 has... Minnow has no idea where 18 is. He's going to get the free kill here, 18. The backstab's going to come out. Ooh, and that was almost dangerous. And now they are going to make the play onto B site. Emzen getting takedown 1. But now it's going to be that 2-on-1 now. And it's going to go over to SV on that round. First 2 rounds of the defensive side going to go to SV here. And definitely what the worry was here for HG. This attacking side can be really difficult to crack open. Haven't been able to find any wins in those 2v2 situations yet really either on the whole map. K had an opportunity to clutch out the 2-on-1. Couldn't land the headshot onto N9. We've seen some rounds that really could have been won there, but K gonna pick up a big kill there on the aggressive peek from Emzen. And that's a good way to start off the round. And it does look like they're gonna try and work off of that. Oh, a huge tag damage there onto N9, and he's gonna go down immediately after. And a little bit of hesitancy here to finish off this push. And it does look like they might actually turn it around here. 18 gonna catch them in the back. Gonna pick up double there, but only Anka alive as Maple does take him down. But he's made it doable here for him. And he gets the peek there onto Maple. And another one as Maple's caught with his grenade out. But the flash is going to help. And they're really tossing everything they got to keep him off of this site. He's going to push through before that smoke fills out. But he'll get taken down almost immediately after. And finally, HG going to put a round here on the board for the attacking half. And especially on port, I've said it a couple times now. It's that first round that really is the important one. And they need to put 2 rounds together for each one of SV, at the very least, to push that overtime. You need a little bit of magic. Ooh, NP. Ooh, he's going to miss the shot there onto Emzen. But they are going to... Oh, and what a reaction there from Emzen to take down Maple. Looked for all the world like he was dead in the water. And with that start from Emzen, the rest of the team's going to close it out here. 7 kills there. On to 18, I believe. Yeah, it is 18 sitting there, top fragging in the second half with 7 to his name. Followed by Anka at 5. Having a nice day here is Anka so far. He had a good first half as well. And trying to take it onto map point here for SV. Pretty standard setup here from HG. Going to a bit of a default here. But a 4-5 stack towards this B side. Taking a bit of a gamble here is SV, but 18 gonna creep up, try and get some info. Playing in that position that I was discussing yesterday that I do not like. But if you're gonna put a big stack on the B side, I think it's a better decision, as he can be that sentry, that scout. And I do hear loudly called, I believe in HG's comms, that A is open. And we do hear lots of calls coming back and forth. I got a bit distracted trying to hear what they were going to say. But onto the site is HG, but Emson in a nice spot. But Maple with a double kill. Only N9 left, but he's in the 2-on-1. He's taken it already from the 3-on-1 to the 2-on-1, but he will get taken down there by WN99. Always scary when N9's in those clutch situations. We've seen him pull out more than his fair share. Ooh, what a shot there. He's going to pick up 2. Looking for more. Can't find it. And does look like we're going to go on to map point here. 2v5 on port. That's a tall order, especially when all 5 defenders, well, 4 defenders are on full HP. 18 getting tagged a little bit there. And now Maple all alone. He's going to pick up 1. A little bit of a confidence booster. Can he pick up the 2nd? And he does. Okay. A little bit of a misclick there. But if you're going to have a misclick, that's a fine time to have it, as the odds of you pulling out that 1v5 were slim at best. Smoke's going to come out here from both sides onto mid. And considering pushing up through this here is K. And he's going to get taken down for it. Both he and 18 really pushing pretty aggressively through those smokes. Probably a signal that they saw each other throw the smokes. Actually, that's really clever play out of both of them. 18 going to get 1 and trade it out, but W going to get up another. And now only WN99 again. All alone in this situation. He doesn't have the bomb this time either. And a pretty anticlimactic end there to our first map. It was pretty much, it pretty much never looked in doubt here for SV. They had won the attacking half and played it pretty loose on the defensive half, and were still able to get a decisive scoreline. That being said, you definitely have to say SV does have the better port there between these two teams. I think there's not many people who are going to argue that. We've seen HG have some good matches on port in the past. But since people have really figured out how to flash out any snipers on that A point, it's become that kind of has foiled HG's standard hold there on port, and they really haven't been able to get back to the level that they used to play port when NP was able to hold there on that spot by himself and pick up huge multi-kills there, being able to peek and re-peek from, it's like a little whack-a-mole game if you can't flash out and close in on that A site immediately and it's held by a sniper. You can see some amazing plays there. So, of course, if you are playing Port there at home, go to YouTube and find those flashes. I imagine they must be on there to help. Or just look back at that execute we saw from SV. MP changed positions behind that box to the side of the A point, on his right side of the A point, and still was completely flashed out there, as there's really only 3 viable places to hold there as a sniper deep. And since that we have the best solution HG has really had for that is to just put MP on the M4 and continue to allow him to hold that position. We didn't see it there from them. I think they're going to have to start rethinking the way they play Port a little bit, as it does feel like they're a little bit behind here. It could be this. Speak of the devil. This is exactly that. Here we do see Blacklist attacking A, failure to attack A. Global risk here for Hangul. A nice double kill here from NP. And yeah, so again, this is a pretty standard setup for them, except a little bit of a wrinkle here with K staying over by the boxes. WN99 here sitting at mid, ready for the rotate, and then a 2-stack on the B site. Very, very standard stuff here, and you see MP relocated to try and prevent the flash out. He does prevent it, actually. I had assumed he got flashed out there, and then immediately rotates up to the top and is able to take down another. So just shows you a little bit about how Port is evolving. I'm a little bit surprised. There should be an angle to flash out that box. Perhaps didn't land the flash correctly there, as MP was able to get a free shot there from the box and start them off with a nice man advantage on that as the execute came across, and then the speed with which he got back up to the point before they were able to attack it, also very impressive, and picking up that second kill. Well done from him. Again, been a little bit quiet from our featured matchup between N9 and Lincoln K there, but you'd have to say if you're picking 2 players for each team, it'd be WN99 and Anka right now playing from those positions best. The sniper duel has been quite interesting though so far. Someone here comparing Emzin to Michael Jordan here, saying incredibly high IQ player and cool in all situations. So this would be a list of top players here. Number 1 they're saying is Nice. You can see number 2 there, it's calling it Dono, saying that his strats are incredible. Then number 3 there would be White Shark. Number 4, NP. Number 5, Sir, the coach there for AG currently. So certainly some big names on there. Pretty much all of them still involved in CrossFire. Nice. Does play for that, has played in recent memory for that EP squad, but mostly doing shows and streaming now for himself. Today's matchup, I think the best in the CrossFire world, I think, couldn't quite make it, but again, someone complimenting Emzin and certainly a player worthy of all that praise. You could make an excellent case for him being the best player of all time, especially with how he has been performing in recent years, not just in the past. He's had a huge career and looking to continue that for at least this season. But you can definitely see that he's considering that retirement. But we'll be back with Subbase next after this.
忘不掉的是初心。梦想不分大小，从来不懂放弃。只为这一刻，因为初心，才有梦想。为梦想坚持，抵达荣耀之巅。
现，心灿烂，极限有了被打烂，面前就绝不服输，我们是永不妥协的子弹，世界在手中挣扎，面前就绝不服输，捍卫最好的梦，逆转时光，这一枪就改变一切，青春绽放。
何谓巅峰？就是以青春为名，触手可及。梦想的路上，绝不服输。再次引燃体内的热血，生存靠你的实力和团队。突破自我，这里还有你为之而战的兄弟，或是对手。
Are you ready for this fight?
专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱攻。
Welcome back again to the CFPL. Getting ready to get into our second map here between HG and SV. Of course, get in there. Use that QR code to use your Weibo with the hashtag CFPL hashtag to discuss who you think are some of the best players throughout the history of CFPL. Could make a case for two of the players in our matchups today as far as historical performances, as well as players looking like they're going to have careers similar between with players like 18 and 9 and NP. 18 and NP being that second generation, and N9 showing that the third generation here would be my take on it a little bit. But you would definitely have to say the map here, sub base, gonna favor HG a little bit, but SV so hard to attack their map pool. Very few maps that they're not incredibly proficient on. Looking back at how SV banned here today, was Ankara was their first ban, or excuse me, Compound their first ban, and Ankara the second ban. A little bit surprised to see the HG didn't ban out Port. They banned out what was it, Black Widow instead, as Port clearly, their Port clearly not up to par with SV's there. But here on sub base, they should have a much better chance to bring this map to their advantage and try and take it home and push us to that third deciding Mexico TD. Will be interesting to see how this battle continues between NP and Emzen. Definitely give the mechanical edge to NP, but usually that's not where Emzen gets his advantages. It's almost always out of outthinking the opponent. As we take a look here at our map, this hallway, coming down a stairwell onto the A point. Swallowed my water wrong, and I still got a little bit of issue here. So bear with me for a second. Coming in here through the server room, into the locker room, and onto B site. Following up here, should be coming through mid. This area that MP loves to snipe down, especially on the aggressive side. I actually wonder if we don't see HG choose the aggressive side, taking that blacklist, as I think they might actually be stronger on the attack than on the defense for this map. Then coming through outer mid here and onto the B site through the connector. We've seen some interesting plays from that angle recently, but no time to discuss that as we're ready to get into it immediately. Map 2 here, HGSV. Did seem to lag out here again. I apologize for that. I'm actually very interested to know who's attacking and who's defending. Looking like an aggressive first round here, or at least sounding like it. And it is, as lots of bodies already on the floor. We do see HD did take the defensive side and into the man advantage here. But they have lost map pressure here on A, but a nice rotation by K. Gonna not only pick up a kill, but also make this retake super easy here. Gonna be able to come from 2 angles. But a nice grenade there from N9. And again, the most terrifying player in those clutch situations right now for me is N9. And he's got a chance to do it here. He's going to have to take him down, coming from the same angle, and K gonna deny him the chance, catching him with that flash grenade out. And there you go. That's that featured matchup. Still has some stuff to learn there from the old wily vets like K. I don't believe any equipment came across. I don't know if K or NP had any, but interesting wrinkle there. Getting the jump on N9 as a big, fast, wide opening by K catches him off guard. And slowing it down here a little bit. Oh, I say that, but 18 going in for an aggressive pick and catches Maple out there in that boosted position on the light. Or is that one a... Yeah, that one is a boost. 18 looking for more in the tunnels here. Looks like he should be spotted. Well, the grenade will go ahead and sell him out there. But he looks like he's going to try and take the drop down. And he does drop down. And now he's looking for NP. And he's going to... Or WN99. And he's going to pick it up. Minna will trade it out, though. But still, that's going to put a pretty big hole in the defense here. And allow a nice casual plant for SV. And this round's going to go in SV's favor. They can thank 18 for his hard work for this one, as he cleared one off the site and then cleared another off the site. Was the sacrificial lamb. Only man to go down in that round, but definitely job well done by him, and off to a good start here for both teams, each having a round to their name. Does look like pretty standard opening here from SV. Bomb in Anka's hand here, pretty forward. Some spam coming through the doors, but nothing going to come of it. And a standard defense here, pretty put up by HG. Looking like this one's going to go pretty slowly. I say that, but MP looking for an aggressive pick there in towards the server room. Isn't going to find it and gets taken down for his trouble. And now the execute's going to come out here onto the B site. Not sure how aggressive they want to be here, as the team is slow in rotation. An interesting call here, but the 2-man team looking like they're just going to take the 2-on-5 here. And yeah, strange stuff there. Interesting call from SV. It works out anyway, as perhaps it was a read that MP was pretty much solo holding that B position, and a little bit hard to see that V is slightly cut off on our minimap there. But if that was the case, then that really shows how ill-advised that pick attempt was from MP. We do typically see Maple holding over there. I got caught behind a little bit there. I assume he must have gone down on the entry, but he's going to be in the task of holding it on his own here, as there is a 3-stack towards the A site. MP is going to find that early pick this time, and that's certainly why he goes for those aggressive plays. He finds them more often than not, especially on this map. He certainly knows where to find those aggressive positions. might have gotten a boost there into the vents. Excuse me. Not sure if it came through, but behind enemy lines there, onto this B side and A side, execute on both sides at the same time, stretching the HG defense thin, but the two-man retake bomb doesn't go down, and MP goes for the solo 1v1 there. I do believe he was trying to catch WQ out setting the bomb, but ends up being a pretty big misplay there by MP. And that's kind of what you get when you have MP on your team. He makes those highlight reel plays, but sometimes he gets a little overzealous. Definitely would be the one aspect of his game you would like to see him work on, is knowing when to reel it in. A nice grenade there, going to give WQ a bit of an advantage here against his old teammate. Minno's certainly going to want to pick this one up, and he's not going to be able to do it. Rough there. It was another interesting play call there from SV, similar to what we saw last round, except the execute came out on both sites at the same time. And MP certainly should feel a little bit of remorse there for that aggressive duel there. 18 going to pick one up here early on to Minnow, as well as the big tag onto Maple there at the very beginning of the round. Going to put SV in a really nice position. 18 been playing the vents really well, and he's going to take down K there. That duel usually goes to the defender, but 18 makes it work, and again, he's looking for more. Just has done such a good job, especially on this map, of cutting open the defense of HG and making it really hard for them to get these rotations off safely, or to even feel safe in holding their positions. A terrible flash there from WN99, but he's going to spray one down through the box anyway before he does get taken down by Emzen. And you definitely would have to say 18, if they're going to discuss anything in this timeout, HG, is how to prevent 18 from continuing to rip apart their team's defense. He keeps managing to punch a hole through the middle of the defense, or even clear out an entire flank on his own. And until they stop him, I don't see why SV should change up anything that they're playing. Just let 18 go out there and continue to open up these advantages for you, and then just capitalize. It was a big clutch there from WQ. Definitely still MP going to be kicking himself. Thought he had completely read him out there and could catch him with the bomb in his hand, but in the future would prefer to see him try and take that. Put some faith there in Minnow to have the ability to retake that together, as that's a duo that's been on this team for a good long while together. You would certainly expect that they should be able to retake that 2-on-1. Interesting time out here from HG. They've definitely been on the back foot for this whole match so far. I don't think we have seen the timeout. I don't think SV utilized their timeout in the first map there on port, and I can't think of a time when they would have needed to. But again, it's SV opening up a big advantage here early on with that 4-1 scoreline here. It's felt a lot closer than that on this map. It certainly feels like HG has a better chance here on port to make, on sub base rather than port, to make this comeback. as most of the rounds have been coming down to really, really close duels towards the end. MP maybe as a result of that has been feeling a little bit more pressure to go out there and earn rounds for his team. And again, we know who this is in the event. We don't need to see the name tag. He's been an absolute menace attacking this whole middle part of the map from vents to mid and the control room entrance. Maple getting aggressive here, and MP gonna pick up 18, and that's a big kill here. Ooh, Maple gonna take one down for himself too. K's gonna get traded out and immediately call a huge rotation there as WN99 taking down N9. I tell you what, you can certainly hear when K calls for those rotations in those comms. He is not shy about making his voice heard when he feels it's urgent. As we see there on the player cams, when it comes to SV, it's pretty typically just Emzen talking there, receiving information, and then deciding what to do with it. And I think this is a nice adaptation here from HG. They're going to go for the boost to try and shut down 18 here. He's going to wisely toss the bomb here before he jumps into the vents, as he's in real danger of just getting taken down immediately by NP, and he is going to go down. And that's certainly the adaptation they needed to make here, HG. Emzen, though, going to take down MP through the smoke. I don't think that smoke was still pretty fresh. I think that was just one of those pokes through the smoke that works out. He's going to pick up 2 here, but K. And if he can start to wake up, he's going to get 3. He's looking for 4. It does look like it's going to go to WN99. And if K can start waking up, he's certainly a hype man on that team. He will certainly get HG back into this. That's a good member of the team to rally behind here for HG. And of course in that featured matchup for us. N9 having a really quiet day today. Haven't seen much out of him. We saw a lot of big plays from him against TGF, but it hasn't been there today. And again, Emzen going to go down here to MP, but he's going to have to fall back and try and pick up another before he goes down. MP, he actually gets out pretty cleanly, but 3 kills all of a sudden onto the site, and the bomb will go down immediately. Going to be a very difficult retake for K and WN99, especially as K goes down. Doable here, especially if WN99 can find the first kill, but he has been called out. Yeah, his position has been called out there on the comms. Yeah, and completely ready for him there. As I heard in Chinese, middle doors. And that is exactly where he was. As we see 3 members closing in on the double doors here towards 8. NP has had so much success over the years picking up kills down that hallway, but it's going to be K who's going to need to hold on here on his own on A site. WN99 is going to get across, but get taken down immediately as well. And a clean sweep here looking like Maple is going to take down 1, but will get taken down by Emzen immediately after. And that was a quick one for the end of the half there. And again, we see SV with a huge attacking half. I did say, though, before we started that I think HG's attacking half is easily as good as their defensive half on sub base here. So not out of it. Certainly can get back into it, especially if, as I said, K there can start getting hot. And they... sorry, I'm collecting my thoughts here because I wanted to follow up on how the SV immediately changed directions once HG was made the... Oh, an aggressive push here from 18. Not going to give me time to talk about it. We'll have to table that issue. Huge number of grenades coming across, and they do catch a lot of health there for 18 and some onto Anka. Nice aggressive play here. Unfortunately, not going to find anything. Maple does go down there. Came really close to picking up a couple. It's a 3-on-5, but if they can line up some shots here for HG, especially with the bomb going down and SV funneled in a little bit, it's doable here with these low health bars. I don't know if NP started off the round with that M4, but he wisely changes, knowing that multiple members have been tagged here for SV. If they can find the duels, they can do it here for HG, and it's an important round as it's already 6-3 here in the favor of SV. And they're going to get the first one, and he's going to get back behind cover. They're going to get 2, 3, and the fourth one now. 3 there for WN99, and that's going to close it out. Yeah, definitely, as I said, both Minnow and WN99 picking up multi-kills there on that defense, on that bomb defense. And you just felt it was possible, especially on that A site where members tend to get funneled more easily, and they were able to pick them off one by one as they were jumping down stairs. Big round win there for HG. Gonna close the gap a little bit here, moving into 4-6 on our 11th round. Gonna need to have a good attacking half. They started off well for HG, but it's not enough yet. Pretty standard opening here for both teams. WQ holding relatively solo on that A site, with N9 holding at the vents. It's pretty much a position you can never really change on this defensive side. It's a good position to cover A site and rotate to B, and he's looking like he's going to pick one up from that exact position. And all of a sudden, it is all over here except a double kill there for MP. Gonna actually ask some questions here. He's got to find... He's pinned down here behind the site, but he can't find the head there of Anka, and instead he's going to get his own head taken off. And Anka been a little bit more quiet on this second map, but he's certainly had a very good port. And looking to get aggressive here again as 18. Where Anka has slowed down on this second map, it's been 18 who's picked it up. But since it looks like this, well, hold on. He is in a position here to get taken out, as I say that. I was going to say, as we've seen HG make the right adaptations when they were on the defensive side, we'll just table that issue. I'll try and remember it for post game, as the action just refuses to stop here. But SV also refuses to stop, as they're going to go ahead and pick up another round here and take us to 4-8. Looking like they want to take this 2-0 here. SV going to need a little bit of magic from HG, and you just question whether or not they have it in them. looks like the call is going to be a fast A rush here. And 18 going to call it out. But still getting in relatively cleanly, especially with that N9 suicide there. Assisted suicide. But definitely looked like it was going to be another round there for SV. But the trades come out in favor of HG. Gotta say, pretty rare to see N9 miss shots like that. Now into a 3-on-2 situation, but similar to the one we saw HG win earlier, that odd man situation with both Maple and MP on low HP. But Emzen also on low HP, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway as he gets headshotted out there by WN99. 18 looking like he's got a chance at it, but Maple shuts down the clutch and then jumps to his demise on the bomb site. Now 5-8 here. Gonna need to get at least a couple more rounds. HG before they allow SV to put it onto match point. And Emzen, don't think he saw the tip. Yeah, K there switching to his pistol to get closer before. Very, very clever stuff there. Very clever stuff. We'll discuss what he did there in a second as the fight's going to continue here. And now 3-on-3. All of a sudden, Minnow trying to come out of this vent. And he's going to lose the duel there with Anka. Anka getting the better open there. And NP only man alive here. He does have the bomb and he's in the 1-on-2 situation. If he can find one onto Anka immediately, he's got a chance here. And worst time ever to lag out. Does sound like the round is most likely over as I hear no conversation in the comms. Although I hear footsteps. But only one person's footsteps. And the plant's going to come down. And then he's going to play it aggressively. I like it. I like it a lot. He doesn't find anything on the aggressive. Unfortunately, he chose the wrong path. But, you know, definitely showing that veteran status that if you're in that 2-on-1, especially on low health, plant that. If you are in a situation where you're going to have to plant the bomb, you're better off taking to the offensive, trying to catch somebody off guard and turn it into a 2-on or into the 1-on-1 and give yourself a real chance at it. Anyway, I was discussing as he moved into the vent there, K switched to the pistol so as to get closer to the corner without sticking his weapon out. He's going to pick up another one there early in the round. K trying to do what he can here to keep his team in it. But SV on map point. And HG going to have to withstand 4 match points here to stay in it. But he switched to his pistol so as not to have the barrel of his gun stick out. And then instead of switching back to his rifle, he instead tossed the pistol out to give Emzen something to shoot at. And then followed it up to, in the end, take down Emzen. We are into the 4-on-4 situation, and Minnow going to get in pretty freely, unable to snag that headshot onto WQ, and wisely going to back away from this situation. Dropping out of the vents when people know where you are is typically a pretty bad idea. Maple going to pick up a nice kill there on a WQ, though. How did he rotate over there? It had to have been someone else. I just got the name bars lined up there for me. And 9 finally getting something done here. Gonna get a double kill, pushing him to 6-4 for the round, or for the second half here. Emzen looking to try and take the 2v1 here. MP seems to have a pretty good idea of where he is. making it very hard for him to walk down. And yeah, it will be MP. Dip dive, ducking and dodging on the bomb site. Emson tried to time it there, couldn't find him. And that's 1 down, 4 to go. Or 1 down, 3 to go here for HG. Still a long way to go if they want to try and push this to a final map. They're going to need to do something similar to what AG did to them. And it's a nice opening start here. They've got 1 on the entry, and they got 4 on the entry. And that's going to be 2 down, 2 to go. As it's going to be very hard for WQ to take this 1v4. And yeah, they do call out his position. And he does go down. Well, starting to give a little bit of hope here. Just can't find anything there before the smoke fills out Emson. He's gonna take a chance, roll the dice there. Doesn't find a kill for it. But nothing lost either. MP does take the M4 here into this round, and they're gonna go hard onto the A point. Nice flash there, should get them 1, but N9 in a nice position gets 1, and he's looking for more. 3-on-1 again now, and SV looking like their A defense needs to be adjusted here, as it's been 2 rounds in a row now that HG has gotten very cleanly into the site and been able to hold it very effectively. And immediately they're going to change it up here, but they're not going to slow it down. But they might get slowed down as Emson and Anka. Oh, and in a great position here, Kate. And that looks like it's going to be match here. And so close and yet so far. And she takes it all the way to 8-9. Oh, what a heartbreaker. They put the faith back into my soul that they had a shot there. But then SV does what they do. They crush dreams and they take the 2-0. Gonna continue to be unchallenged in first place as they get max points here out of HG. And that's a rough one there for HG. Especially with how things were looking there towards the end. But smiles on the faces there. WQ, of course, giving some love to his old teammates, and some smiles there exchanged between the veterans, between Emson and K. But before I forget, I kept trying to discuss it and we never got a chance to in-game. But the most interesting thing I noticed out of SV's play there on that second map was that they saw how 18 was finding such success in mid, being able to cut open the defense there of HG and find ways both in past the defense and picks onto members completely unaware, using vent and that mid area, the different connectors that does provide you, both into vents and that B connector. And once HG, they were a bit slow to make the adjustment, but once they did make the adjustment, immediately SV changed focus and started to re-dictate the pace of the game. Instead of allowing it to be a little bit slow and let 18 go to work, they instead start to move quickly onto a site immediately and force HG always to be one step behind. And that resulted in the 2-0 victory here for them. good stuff again from SV. Looking like they might be moving back into that team to beat role with their loss on day one to AG. Everyone, especially seeing the roster that AG had put back together, they said, everybody's thinking, oh, well, AG is back. AG is truly back here. This will be a triple kill here and this is really the round here where we finally, this is, I believe, second round in a row here where HG really starts to figure out what SV has been doing, and it is immediately out of the timeout, so really well done by them. But Emzen does even it out there onto MP, and this round should end here with a 3K from K, as they are about to come, all three members at the same time down the same corridor, and K gonna line him up and knock him down. A little bit disjointed there on the attack, unless they do wait for double Q to rotate over, but one tap there on the first, spray down on the second, a one tap again on the third, and WN99 ends it up there, closes it up there. Thought that might be the catalyst to get HG back into it, but almost immediately after that round, SV change their tactics up and again caught HG off guard, as HG did do a good job of figuring out what SV was doing. Would have liked to maybe see them manage to do that a little bit sooner, and might have been able to stay in this one. But in the end, it is a 2-0 victory for SV. Huge win here for them, as that will again continue their dominance on top of the table for at least this half of the week, as they will not give an opening for AG to close the gap at all. Here we go. Talking about here, again, enjoying seeing fights between Emzen and NP. I think that I'm not going to read through this whole thing. Try and skip around a little bit. Anyway, talking about some old competitions between the two. I think it is a very interesting matchup between those two guys, and so many people here discussing how much they like Emzen, and he's certainly deserved all the praise he gets. He's one of, if not the most respected player in the community by other players. I was going to say, I do find the matchup between Emzen and MP especially interesting, because MP you would have to characterize as a bit of a wild card. It's his biggest strength and also his biggest weakness, but it presents a unique challenge for Emzen, right? If he can't figure out what NP's doing, then it's really hard. If MP can be unpredictable enough to throw off Emzen's strategy, HG has that, can really get advantages in these rounds. And we saw it from him a couple of rounds there, where he was coming from unexpected angles and able to get some picks off there. Again, more people praising Emzen here. It's a bit overkill here, again, more here discussing Emzen and NP. Sometimes when you discussing MP, yeah, again, what you would say, a bit of a rogue, loose cannon, whereas Emzin's that rock there for SV. Some fans there just guessing exactly what I was talking about. So always interesting to see them match up. Definitely Emzin got the better of MP today, as when Emzin's team wins, that's when you know that he wins. As guaranteed he is the brains behind that operation there on SV when he's out there. And we'll be back here with our next match between Flipside and AE after this break. Welcome back to the CFPL, getting ready to get into our second matchup of the day here. Flipside versus Acme Explosion. Should be a good one. AE coming fresh off a defeat at the hands of MGC, that's right. And Flipside, fresh off a 2-0 defeat themselves. Or, excuse me, the 2-1 loss to U9, if I remember correctly. Again, it's looked better all the time here for Flipside. Definitely hoping to see them win the coin toss there to get the double ban, as basically that means that they get one ban, as we all know. Everybody should know that that first ban for them is going to have to be compound. If you bear with me for a second. Well, let's see. After we get the lineups on our screen, I'm going to see if I can't get one of the Flipside substitute in here to talk a little bit about how things are going for the team on the stream here, but we'll see if we can make that happen here in a minute. What we need to see here for Flipside, I think the most important thing looking at this match is FaZe back to a situation where he feels comfortable being able to pick up that op? Because if I'm AE right now, after seeing Flipside on Ankara, where FaZe was playing in sniping positions, but without an op in his hands, you have to think, if you're AE, that's going to be a good map for us against Flipside right now. We can't keep seeing Flipside use so much utility every round to keep snipers at bay. And I think that is something we will see change out of Flipside, as I'm sure they went back in, did VOD reviews, and saw the same issues. Here, of course, on your screen is that Weibo, which you can scan and get in on this conversation of who the best legacy players here for the CrossFire Pro League are. We've seen a whole bunch of posts here about Emzen, but there are plenty other names that can come up there. So get in there and tell us what you think. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how pick bans will go. I imagine AE will at least ban out Port, as we've seen pretty much be the standard ban here against Flipside so far. And then you might consider taking Subbase away from them, as they've shown quite a bit of success on that, especially recently. If you have that 2-ban situation. But if Flipside only has the 1 ban, oh man, it's going to be so interesting, because either I think AE needs to be looking at Black Widow and Ankara. Whichever one doesn't get banned out, that's the one we want, until Flipside can prove to me that FaZe is back in a situation where he's ready to pick up that op. But now that we have the lineups here on your screen, Xiaoqila and Cfpl there in the middle. Had a pretty good match for himself, even though they did lose. Messi there, back in the lineup. We've seen a little bit of him, but not too much. Shishi, the opera there for AE, has been especially impressive for me with that 1.24 KDA. Cfpl as well has looked good for this AE team. And you would have to say, yeah, sitting there at the 0.95 KDA. you would have to say maybe 2-star still underperforming some. Hao here has also looked quite good for them in a and has really performed in some clutch situations. But definitely not where you expect to see that KDA for a player like 2-star here for AE. In previous seasons has definitely been their best player in my opinion. Let me see if I can get him in here real quick. See if we can't have a chat. They're on your screen. See if he can't start to work back towards his form. It does look like, if I remember correctly, his KDA is on the rise here. So maybe starting to see a little bit of that form that we're used to seeing from 2-star. XQL there has been good in clutch situations, along with how we'll see will be, I think, kind of an interesting player. I keep stumbling over my words here because I don't know how to describe him, because he seems just to be such a good, well-rounded player there for the squad. He can do a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm still trying to convince him to come over and have us chat with us. And there again, Messi coming in here for AE. Interesting. Wait. For some reason, hold the phone. Is Messi? That would be a transfer, wouldn't it? Interesting. Dennis here at that 0.73. Creeds here has been probably one of the more consistent performers on flip side. Kind of that quiet rock. You'd have to say right now, the man stepping up the most would be Luka. There's 7 right there. And captain for the team. So if you only have one person performing, that's definitely the guy you want, as it should be easier for him to get the rest of the team back into it. FaZe there has been struggling since early on in this season. And definitely going to see if he can't start to turn it back on here towards the later, as we move towards the end of the first half of the season here. Snox at a 0.77. Has also had some big rounds to his name. But definitely going to be looking to see if Flipside can't finally get a 2-0 on the board here in their favor. Again, the biggest difficulty for these European teams is pretty much the only way, barring a miracle, the only way for either team, either Flipside or Penta, to pick up that victory is in a 2-0 situation. But looking to be in good spirits here, which is always important. Can't improve without it. I think they have a real shot here today, Flipside, especially, I swear, I'm going to look up the rosters here. Let me find that page here in my notes. As I swear, Messi has recently been playing for a different team. I know I'm not crazy, right? I'm not crazy, right? Right? No, he has been sitting there on the bench. That's my fault. I don't know where I got that idea. For some reason, I was thinking he was a sub for either TDCQ or U9, which would have been a very interesting move and would have been big there for Messi as a bit bigger of a club. And we should be able to look here at pick bands in a minute. And does look like it's on our screen now. No, don't lag out now. Worst timing ever. Please. I want to see the pick bands. Oh, why do you keep doing this? Why? Why do you ruin all my fun? Again, though, I'm guessing what we're seeing on our screen now is that we're either playing... Oh, just in time. That is our featured matchup there. I say just in time, but then we stumble again. No, please. Don't do this. Why do you hate me, computer? Why do you hate me? I will continue to pressure them about this as this is getting a little out of control. I need to see what is happening. But I imagine what we're going to be heading to, guaranteed one of our maps here is Black Widow or Ankara. Looks like we are ready to get into it though, judging from the music. Still not into the game here for me, but I do hear some early grenades coming out on port. It is interesting, as this is the first time someone has allowed Flipside to play port here. And that's very surprising to me, as we definitely, I mean, historically, it's been very difficult for Chinese teams to take port off of the foreign teams. And it's going to be a nice advantage here for Flipside coming into this first map. Definitely was their pick there, as we see AE on the defensive side. Looking like into the 2-on-2 here for our first round. And it's getting a little bit out of control here. I'm not sure what is happening for me. See if I can't get IT in here to fix this immediately, as it's absolute madness right now. Absolute madness. Looking like they're gonna get the free plant here for Flipside onto the A site. And someone got snippety sniped out there. But I'm not sure who. Again, I'm having some technical issues here on my end. And try to figure out what's going on here. Okay. Do seem to be back here in real time, and a nice first round win here for Flipside. Of course, any rounds you can pick up here on the attacking side are good. If Flipside can put themselves in a pretty reasonable position here, heading on to the defense, could look like, ooh, a nice double there by 2-star in the position I hate. And it's going to be a 4-kill, all things considered, as Xiao Qilan picks up another. And, making me eat my words here a little bit about that position, I guess. Again, I just don't think that that should work, though. I don't think it can work consistently. I don't think it's a very good strategy. I think it's okay every now and then maybe, but it's just you're just so vulnerable in that position. Does look like we are going to see an A execute come out here. Although they might call it off. Nice grenade there onto Messi, though. He's going to throw the flash out and is going to call now that they called that off, and no rotations will come across. But they do get the flash out of that guy, out of the member on A site. And it does look like that will signal the delayed execute here on the A site. They're really making the substitute here, Messi's job, difficult, as he has to figure out exactly when it is coming, as it does look like it is coming. And Shishi gonna start AE off in the advantage here. And wait no longer, they will with that pick, but a huge 4-man, 5-man flash there. But still looking like they're going to get okay on the entry and even it out here, but flashed again and really slowing down this assault here on the A point. And another flash onto Snox there, making it really difficult. They can't seem to get up here onto the point, and really well stalled out there by AE. Especially with those 2 entry kills they got there. Looked like F3 was gonna have a real shot at that round, but some lovely flashes coming across onto multiple members, which is also especially impressive as they did bait out the flash early there from Messi. And looking like we might see the A execute again. They do have a 2-stack here this time. Shishi gonna need to be flashed out, but Creeds should have that lined up with FaZe. And here it does come across. Shishi is completely flashed out, but they're not ready for Messi to be in that position. He does only trade out the 1 though, but how gonna pick up another? Creed's trading a double there, and that should signal a round win here for Flipside. AE gonna have to find a new way to deal with this A execute. They did a really good job with it last round, but it needs to be a little bit more consistent before Flipside moves away from it. They try a 2-stack there, but Messi's location wasn't checked initially, but he wasn't able to pick up more than 1. And certainly would be expecting that now, Flipside. Oh, and this has worked well for them, though. This aggressive push from B, although I do hate it. And he's going to get some nice tags there, but he gets tagged back. Both he and 7 sitting on approximately equal damage, but a grenade hitting onto Creeds there going to signal a bit of a win, but Cfpl taking damage himself will actually make things pretty much even across the board here. And looking down mid here, we saw FaZe get picked off through this smoke as it was dying, but it does look like they're going to take the connector here, and it's a clever idea and a good way to counter that push Unfortunately, 2-star and XQL had fallen back from that position. And looking like how, considering the aggressive play here, and FaZe isn't caught looking, and the execute should come out onto B almost immediately unless they call this off. Still plenty of time to rotate back to the other site. And it's a little bit slow here from Flipside. And they're starting to run out of time. But XQL going down there, gonna make it difficult. And the bomb is going to go down here, and it's going to be a 2-on-4 retake. And Dennis going to pick up a double kill to close out the round. And Flipside looking good here on the attack. They've had success now on both A and B points. And from different angles, that B execute coming from mid. A little bit slow there on the finish, though. Would have liked to see that come through faster. And this looks like going to be the answer here for AE. They're going to put Shishi in a really aggressive position. And if he can predict this... Oh, but 2-star could be in a really bad spot here if they can close in on it in time. But he is going to realize that. But now, that's a big pick there from Shishi. And another double there. And a nice, interesting defense here on that A side. Reading out the play here from Flipside. And making the proper adaptations to throw a kink into this A execute that they've had a lot of success with. A clever little boost there. And 7 in between a rock and a hard place here is going to go down. There's no coming back from that drop down. And 3-on-3 we go here. Pretty evenly matched so far. If Flipside can pick up one more round here on the attack, they're going to be in good position here moving towards the defense. And looking like it might be just a quick B hard execute here. And it's probably going to need to be, as they've given up a lot of map pressure for this. And as they do, they start to call it off, but that's going to put 2-star in a really deep position here. This could be a rough round here for Flipside. Tactically, unless they can find 2-star here on this rotation. Dennis going to have going to need to check his corners here. And I don't think 2-star's heard anything yet. But he is starting to get curious about it. And Dennis does have the bomb. And oh, that smoke. Gonna give a free kill there over to 2-star onto Dennis. And XQL gonna pick up another one there in mid. And a pretty decisive win here looking like for AE. Now actually, that kill from FaZe on this A site might change the look here. Especially if 7 can take down XQL. But now FaZe all alone on the A site here. Makes it a 2-on-1. He doesn't have the bomb though, and it's in a rough spot to go pick up. He's still got time, but it is going to be XQL who finds him out there on the rotate. And I think, I'm not sure what happened to that play there from Flipside. It looked like it was going to be a pretty early B execute, and then they called it off for some reason. But the amount of map pressure that they had lost at that point, we saw 2-star all the way pushed up, all the way way deep there, and getting a free backstab onto Dennis. And then they just it just was probably never going to work with that rotate. I guess it was a kind of half-hearted fake there on the B side, as no one really bid on it. And a similar play here so far. But I do expect this one most likely to come through here. Messi playing it super, super deep. Should get a nice flash there to slow him down, but they're going to get... Ooh, and how can he get pick up 2 here on the trade? And FaZe, again, last man alive in the odd man down situation. He's going to start off again with that kill, but he's going to need to pick up 2 more, and they're coming from all kinds... 3 more, and they're coming from all kinds of angles. And now AE going to secure the win here on the defensive side. Going to try and push it to a 6-3 advantage, which would leave them in a nice spot there heading into the attack. Flipside going to want to pick up another round, and they're going to be happy themselves. 4-5 is perfectly respectable there on the attack. Going to need to see a little different look here, as it looks like it might just be a straight run back of last round, as looking like a pretty hard B execute here early. All 5 members stacked into the warehouse here. And yep, we do see the smoke cutting off the rotation. Oh, it gets stuck on the building there though. We'll see how that ends up hurting them. But it is Messi going to go down early. But the rotations coming across could be a big issue. Only 7 now left alive. And yeah, that smoke not landing really, really hurt Flipside there. And that's going to put AE into a really nice situation here on moving into the attacking side. And at this point, the big question for me, I think on the attacking side, it's easy to make a case for not using the op there. We saw it. The only round I recall seeing it on FaZe, he got picked off as the smoke was dying at mid by Shishi, no less. But now's the real question. Will he pick it up on the defensive side? Because I think he's going to need it, at least in a couple rounds. And he's playing up there on the point. And he's going to change locations here to a more aggressive spot. And he does have that AWM there. He's going to give a boost there to, I believe that's Snox there. And Shishi trying to find FaZe here. And he does see that head pop up, but he can't find it. He's going to try and spam him down here. He's going to throw a smoke there. And it looks like it's going to be Shishi rotating away from that location. No, he is going to stay there. And he's going to continue to try and take this duel with FaZe. And FaZe going to opt out of it and fall back to a little bit deeper position here. I say that he does move back up there and goes down to Shishi. But yeah, they call out the small path in Chinese, which is this location here held by Snox, the raised platform. And he's going to pick one up there onto Shishi. 2 kills on the round, and that was a definitely caught AE off guard there with that boost. And that's going to put the first round here on the defensive side in favor of Flipside. You definitely have to feel Flipside needs to pick up this port map here, because it's been so consistently banned against them. And FaZe is going to take that play straight out of the book from AE. And see if that doesn't get him some confidence moving forward in this match. The A is going to come out here for sure. Although it's already been stuffed pretty readily in a 4-on-1 now as Shishi. He does have the bomb. But he's going to have to find a lot of picks before he can plant that thing. He's got plenty of time to work with here, but all but impossible. Assuming at Flipside just plays standard here and doesn't peek, force him to come up to a site or get into close quarters. Oh, but FaZe leaves a shoulder out there for him to see, but that's missed shot is going to signal a whole heck of a lot of rotations here from Flipside. And Shishi's starting to get closed in on here from a lot of different angles. Ooh, but he's going to take one there onto 7, but Kreese will close that out. And well played there from Flipside. Going to give them the second round of the second half here and bring it to within 1. Does look like an aggressive B push here. And he's going to pick up 1 there with the headshot with the deagle from FaZe. Picked the wrong time to play aggressive into B. And looking like AE going to get onto the site pretty cleanly here, but another lackluster smoke, this time from AE, going to give Flipside a chance to stay in it. And Dennis is in the 2-on-1, and he's so close to winning it. Oh my goodness, 5 HP there on 2-star. Got dinked with a headshot. If he had taken any amount of tag damage, that was Dennis's round to win. Ooh, that was a close one there. Could have tied us up at 6 apiece. Doesn't find it though. And AE will be in the advantage here, 7-5. Huge tag damage there onto XQL, dropping him below 50 HP just from that one grenade. And this time we will see FaZe pick up that AK, and they're playing it super close quarters here. XQL, has he been heard? He has not been heard, but luckily there is some backup on this point, and not from the angle XQL should be expecting. Still unable to do anything with it though. There is Snox, and he's gonna go down, and looking like a pretty free round here for AE. Would have had to see some insane magic there from Dennis. And I'm not sure how well, I guess they were not peeking there on that A site and waiting for audio cues only for that defense. XQL takes the slow walk into that. And for me, that's another sign there that FaZe still not quite got his confidence back, as you would, as that is a sign that he's just not willing to try and take these duels with Shishi. He's already lost 1 or 2 there, and a little bit more understandable as he had decided to take the AK into that round. But again, I think definitely going to be looking at him. Ooh, what a shot there through the gap. Kreese jumping back and forth trying to get information. A terrible flash grenade there out of Messi, going to flash his own team. And going to be a difficult retake here as the splinter group they sent to mid got wiped out readily. But Shishi going to pick up another one here onto Dennis. And they're going to try and call it off here and rotate through mid. And ooh, 2-stars are going to see one there. And they're going to try and pick him off on the rotations. But 7 going to keep it even here into the 2-on-2. And now all the battle lines are completely wonky. And it's going to be Shishi picking up his 3rd for the round. And down to 7. Oh, he's missing the shot there is Shishi. And he's gonna make him pay there big for it. And what are you doing there, cameraman? It's not time yet. M4 versus AK. Here we go. It's the 1-on-1 situation. And it's going to be Messi that finds it. Coming in off the bench. Wins the duel. Clutches that last round out. Luka close to being able to pull it through there. Or excuse me. Yeah, Luka In-game name. Oh my gosh. 7. There we go. I was losing my mind there for a second. Looking like a pretty half-hearted B fake here early. Oh, got caught sleeping a little bit here. AE is on map point. Trying to go 10-5 here against Flipside. And that would be unexpected to say the least. And does look like the B hit's going to come out. We saw this get pretty... This mid attack got stuffed here by 7. And FaZe is going to slow it down. And 7's going to pick up another. Looking like they're ready for it this time. Flipside into the man advantage. And... Oh, if Dennis can play it well here, he's got both to his name. But instead, that's going to be map win there. Shishi having a great game for himself. And you got to feel that's a big blow to the morale of Flipside. Going down 10-5 on port to AE. And you can see it on the faces there. Definitely a map you would favor Flipside on. I didn't get a chance to see what band picks came out, as we were having technical issues at that time for me. But a bit strange there. It really kind of felt like the biggest issue was losing duels, 1, and number 2, just a bit of still not able to see that great op play we know FaZe for. And that's pretty disappointing here. See if they can't turn it around here on the second map, as any points are good points to move them out of the bottom of the table here, Flipside. So we will see what is to come here in our next map. I don't know what it is as of yet, but I guess you guys can hold the knowledge, and I'll just wait to be surprised here towards this second map. But I'm going to guess it's either Ankara or Black Widow. Well, yeah. Yep, either Ankara or Black Widow is my guess. But rough loss there in the first map there for Flipside. Gonna need to turn it around here in the second map. And I swear it's gonna be rough here, as we will be heading to AE's map pick, and should be looking at some social media here before we get a break, which of course you can contribute to yourself by logging into your Weibo account, scanning this QR code that we will see here momentarily, and posting with the hashtag CFPL hashtag. The discussion today is on who the best legacy players of the CFPL are. We've seen so many answers that say Emzin. We've saw other EP members looking like EP fans have shown up in force, as we saw Nice and Emzin. Ooh, that shot really was one of the better ones of that first map there from CC. And he picked up a second one. He's going to pick up the third. And he's going to pick up the fourth. Wowzers. Wowzers. That was a good... Oh, that was the last round. I was wondering, when we were seeing it from the other angle, it looked like the retake was going to go very well for Flipside. But Shishi pulling off the 4K pretty much ended it in fashion there for AE. I would like to know what our next map is. I'm gonna guess it's either Ankara or Black Widow, which, of course, the op matchup will be super important there. So Faye's gonna have to get it back together here. And well, before we do that, talking about again the legacy players. This one here calling Solo, or as he's been called this season, I33. He's like his boss, which would be White Shark. Haonan, his name. When he lost my spot there. Again, talking about Emzin, saying, although he isn't the MVP of each round, it's really about his mind for the game. And he is the cheerleader, as he's not only just one of the best snipers, he's also a good, essentially, cheerleader for the team, etc., etc. And again, Emzin, just so many posts here regarding Emzin. After season 2, Emzin retired, and then AG won the CFPL 3 times in a row, but now he's back, and it's been in his hands again as of late, and in the hands of his teammates on VG, and now on SV, looking to try and do it again, as they do sit in first after that 2-0 victory in our first match of the day. Of course, both of these casters here for the Chinese stream were around during that era in the game, so would be interesting to hear their thoughts on that post as well. And of course, looking like we should be getting ready to head into the break here. Yeah, and we'll be right back here with the second map between at Flipside and AE.
专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱攻。
Welcome back to the CFPL. There is that QR code to get in on the social media conversation. And the most interesting thing misphrasing there. I'm a little bit worried here that we're cruising for the 2-0 defeat for Flipside. They looked fairly dejected, to be perfectly honest, after that last defeat. And they're going to have to find a way to bounce back here and try and push it to the third map. Which, of course, third map being Mexico TD, almost impossible for them to win against the Chinese teams in the current state. But every point matters here, especially when you're down there at the bottom of the table. It's still super tight down there. And with MGC picking up that 2-1 over AE themselves, taking points off of AE is going to be important, both to draw AE towards the bottom of the table and giving you a chance to hop back up towards them, as well as staying near MGC, as they are one of the team just right above you here for Flipside. And it is going to be Ankara here. It's been pretty much consistently the map picked against both Penta and Flipside. It's a really good map for Chinese teams. And with the current state of Flipside's team being what it is, where it just FaZe is just struggling so much to get anything going, it's a really good pick right now into Flipside because of how important the op is on this map. There's so many, again, as I was saying, the biggest issue for me was in their last map, where we really started to notice that FaZe was really something was up, because he was holding this balcony here outside of Global Risk Spawn with the AK, and for me that's such a strange thing to do. I think pretty much you need an op here every round on Ankara, unless you're trying to run unless you're planning on doing a rush towards A or even B in a certain round. Unless you're going to play super fast and try and get onto a site as the attacker, I think pretty much every other situation you need an op on this map. It's just entirely too important to keep map pressure up. You have to have that as a threat out there, holding one of these long corners, like mid here, the super long hallway. It's important on the attacking side to prevent Global Risk from taking that, from being able to look down mid and control basically the lifeline of the map for the attacking side. Well, let's get into it first though. AE versus Flipside here, map 2 Ankara. And Flipside will be taking to the defense here. And smoke gonna come out here onto the doors. The double doors on B be long. And FaZe playing with this AK. Oh, Snox gets caught out there by XQL. Is he going to go for the knife or something? What? I'm not. He wanted to take the duel in a better situation, I guess. And Dennis going to answer it back, though. FaZe going to get taken down by Shishi. And, I just don't understand what the philosophy is here for that. They played some really aggressive positions here in this first round flip side, and it didn't really work out for them so far. But looking to go on a roam here as Creeds. He's going to pick up the first duel. Takes quite a bit of damage for it, and 7 going to get backstabbed here by Hal. And Creed's going to go down to the grenade of XQL. After getting 2, though. And it's going to be, for me, I'm going to be looking every round. I can already tell by the setup, right, that FaZe most likely not running with the op again here in the second round. Oh, he does have it there. And Dennis going to get taken out here as they push through aggressively through the smoke on A. They're going to try and come through now. FaZe on the rotate. Going to need to pick one up here before he's going to get flashed out. And he's going to pick it up there with an AK he picked up somewhere. And they're into the 2-on-2 here. Shishi with that big Barrett. Gonna take FaZe down with a grenade instead. And Messi gonna finish off 7. Now into the 2-0 advantage here for AE. And at least a little bit of life here for Flipside. Messi gonna looking at the double op setup here for AE. And double op setup for Flipside as well, as 7 gonna pick up the Barrett. How moving into the smoke does get through it before it fills out, and could be in a position to do a lot of damage here, but should get taken down by FaZe. Yes, he does. And Snock's going to take one onto Messi there. FaZe had a bit of good game sense there. He knows he's in trouble. He gets out, at least for now. He's going to pick up a nasty headshot there onto XQL. And is he going to land that shot there onto 2-star? He's going to get aggressive with it, though. And Snox picks up a double there. Looking like he shot one while he killed one with the grenade. The alley-oop there to himself. Very well played from him. He's been one of the performers you look to for Flipside recently. But perhaps, every now and then we see these rounds from FaZe where he looks really good. And then he just can't seem to string them together, though. Snock's gonna play aggressively again. Oh, he just can't find it there onto Messi, though. Does tag him down. Oh, very close to looking back at it now. And FaZe gonna pick up a... well, it wasn't FaZe that actually picked it up, but kills coming across here. And 2-star gonna get the kill there onto Creeds. But, sorry, I just expected the turn there from a couple once he couldn't hit the shots there. So I was about to change my call in the middle of it, but ended up stumbling all over my words there. I apologize, but the 2-on-2 will come out. The bomb is starting to move over, but still got a ways to move. And 7 and Dennis playing it patiently, but Messi's going to get the jump and walk straight into the scope there of 7. And that could be an interesting wrinkle here, as only Shishi left alive with the bomb. He's gonna look. He not gonna find it there onto Dennis. Oh, and nice tag there. Will get taken there down by Dennis. And first round on the board here, second round on the board here for Flipside. They can start to calm it down now a little bit. Or maybe it's just me that's a bit nervous because it... Ooh, what a shot there from Creeds. The one tap through the smoke onto 2-star. Looking like they might be coming to life here as Snock's going to pick up another one through the barrel. He's looking for more. He's going to get it through the smoke onto Howie. Can he get the third? He does onto Shishi. And this round brought to you by Snox and Creeds. And that's going to put Flipside into the lead here. Definitely, we saw it discussed here. That was very similar round to the one that was replayed from Flipside in their last match. Broken down by the casters as strategy that had been learned while in China, as that aggressive push we've seen it from a bunch of Chinese teams, and it's looked good both times we've seen it out of Flipside. So definitely showing improvements here. Shishi gonna get the pick there onto FaZe and turn the, well, Creed's going to even it back out again until he gets traded out by 2-star. 2-star getting vengeance for that one tap last round. Going to pick up a headshot of his own there onto Creed's. And going for a huge flank here as Cfpl. He's going to need to get the jogging boots on here as he's going to go all the way through short A to get there, but if he sticks with it, he could end up into the back of 7. But Dennis going on a jaunt of his own, going to find the backstab onto Shishi and even it out here at a 2-on-2. And he's considering staying with it, but will the long run pay off? It does finally find the kill there onto 7, but not as easy as I think he would have hoped for the distance he covered to make that happen. And now who's gonna see the catch vision onto the other first? It's looking like Cfpl is gonna get the free second kill here onto Dennis. Oh, yep, and it will come out there. Oh, but Dennis makes the quick reaction there. He's gonna, oh, and unfortunately he does get dropped there by 2-star. Started to feel like he had a shot there once that quick flick came on. Everybody loves to see those clutches. I thought he had it. And early smoke there in pretty standard position. Looking like AE trying to fake a little bit. Ooh, nice read there by Creeds. Pops out before the smoke fills out and picks one up onto... He's going to look for... Oh, definitely did not expect 2-star to get pushing through that smoke. He was already starting to move on the rotate there. Huge grenade there. Going to take a huge chunk out of 2-star. But he's in a in a good spot there. Doesn't do as much damage as he would like. But it does force Flipside into super defensive positions here. They have basically zero information about the rest of the members of AE. But Snock's going to pop out at just the right time. He's looking for a double there. Instead, we're following Shishi, but 7 going to pick it up onto Hao. And Shishi taking the AWM here. And 7 there with the Barrett. Going to get taken down by this AWM, but Dennis is there to clean it up for him. And good round from Dennis there. Looking like Flipside looking better here on Ankara than they did on Port. Perhaps out of practice after moving to China here and working on their other map, working on the rest of their map pool as it's been consistently banned on them. And we do see 2-star here with the bomb in hand. And it's looking like it's going to be a heavy A hit. The bomb coming through the door first. Maybe not the best idea as it does get taken down by Dennis. And FaZe trying to clean it up here. But he can't quite do it. 7 going to be tasked with it now. And he's going to... Oh, it looked like he had the 3 there. So close. How going to need to pull out this 1v1. He's going to get tagged by the grenade, though. He's got a 3 kill for himself already. Looking for 4. 7 on the round. And Snock's going to back off and wait for the bomb plant. He is going to go ahead and reposition as well. Smart play from him. He was going to put himself in a headshot lineup pretty easily, but with so much time left here, thinking about making some changes of his own and taking it to the B site. Snock starts to have an idea of this himself, though, and the mind games continue. Both players sitting parallel to each other, trying to figure out which location is more likely. And I definitely don't think Snock's expected how to make the full rotate over there to the A site. And he will figure it out pretty quickly, though. And he's going to have 30 seconds on the retake. And Hal looking at a completely different angle. But it does look like he's got a pretty good idea of where he's coming from now, although he's checking every single angle. And I don't think he caught a peek there onto Snox. But Snox doesn't know where he is either. He's running low on time. He's going to fake the defuse. And he's going to look the wrong direction. And, yep, it's going to go to Hall there in the end. A nice clutch there from him. I believe 4 kills on the round. We'll give him 8 in total, I believe. Unless, it could be 9, actually, now. And last round of the first half here. Flipside would love to take it. Give them a chance here moving in to the attack. Ooh, and can't quite win that trade there by does Creeds, but gonna get 2 traded in return. And a double there for 7. Looking getting a triple. Can he pick up the 4th one? No, it should be FaZe eventually there, as he does Deagle. Use about 4 or 5 shots there to kill Shishi with the Deagle. Bit uncharacteristic. He's looked very proficient with that on that defensive side, claiming multiple scalps for himself with those 1 Deags. So, Flipside will take the lead moving into the second half here. And it's really looked promising on this Ankara map. It's looked better than previous matchups on this map. But they're going to have to keep it up here on the attack. And here we go into the second half here. Flipside looking like they're going to make an aggressive push down mid, but they could get in such a great position here as XQL. They're going to get 2 and looking for more. And Flipside's completely stranded here without the bomb in hand. They're going to scatter like the wind. And Messi most likely to get that one onto Snox. No, it's actually Snox who does catch him out there. And XQL calling out on the bomb site. And, yep, going to be 2-star, closing it out with a double kill. And great round there by XQL, catching out that aggressive mid push there from Flipside. And between him and Messi, they forced Flipside to scatter to the winds. 7 with the Barrett in hand. Gonna take over op duties for the team for now, I guess. As FaZe gonna sitting here with the AK, gets tagged down to 4 HP in mid. He's gonna fall back. And the rotations toward A will start. And that's a good decision here, as only Shishi is here to defend. He's gonna get caught looking the wrong direction as they are sneaking up on him, something fierce, and Dennis takes him down immediately with a nice headshot there. Quiet entry there from Flipside works out really well for them, and Seven yet to put the bomb down, looking for a pick before he gets it. He's not going to find it, but grenade going to slow down. Oh, flash is going to come out. They're going to try and push back through the smoke, but that's so difficult here. And they're already running low on time. XQL looking like he's going to wait for that smoke to die out, and he's going to get taken down by FaZe in the end. And Flipside going to take our second round here, holding on to that ever so slight lead they have with that 6-5 now here, moving into the 12th round. It's looking good here. Wait, I believe they put that point on the wrong side there. I'm not crazy, right? Flipside's in the lead. We're good. We're calling it that way. FaZe is going to take one down onto 2-star, but not before 2-star gets one. And again, we see the quiet execute onto the A site. And it works out quite well again. It's going to be into the 2-on-2. Should be able to get the bomb down and into good plant locations. And very evenly matched here, both FaZe and How sitting on similar health, and Messi and Creed's at full. And they've abandoned this A bomb site, and they're going to move towards B, but they could get caught out here by Messi. They did call it out there, and Creed's going to pick up the first one, and that's the big one onto the full health member of AE, and that's certainly going to put this round in the favor of Flipside, but it's certainly not over. One good headshot here can turn it around for How, and we've already seen him have a huge map here on Ankara with that 4K earlier in the round, ending with that 1v1 clutch. And Creed's expecting him to come from a different angle. He's not sure. He's checking both angles, and How gonna turn for it. And it's gonna be Creed's there who wins the duel. All he had to do was see him coming and put one shot into the body. He does just what's required of him and puts Flipside into a 2-round lead here now. Moving into the 13th round. Gonna miss the shot there is Shishi, and gonna pay for it, but not too terribly. Just 33 HP, basically 1/3 of his life. FaZe catches How sleeping again, and AE's gonna have to make an adjustment to this. Ooh, another grenade gonna catch onto Shishi. It's such an interesting play out of Flipside, where it's similar to what we saw from AE on port. The plant's going to go down. Going to need to be the 3-on-4 retake, but that entry kill there from XQL onto Snox is going to help. Turns it into a 3-on-3, but look at those health bars for AE. They're super low, and Dennis going to start us off, getting that one onto Shishi, and it should be all but over here. Yeah, and they'll actually going to go ahead and close it out with kills there. And looking like a timeout, possibly. Nope, AE going to continue to roll on. Flipside putting it at 8-5. Trying to put us here onto map point. Ooh, Shishi going to miss that, or Messi going to miss that shot down mid. And they're not going to allow him to continue that jazz, says Flipside. And FaZe playing it super aggressive. And this it looks like a different Flipside moving through the rounds here. That's such an aggressive play from them, But a 4K from Shishi gonna shut that round down. It looked like it was gonna work out well. Maybe starting to feel like nothing left to lose. Flip side. And starting to play with a bit more creativity. The silent A execute has worked a couple times for them now. And that's got to get in the minds of AE here. They're going to be checking those entrances diligently now, I'm sure. And coming from a different angle here, but Messi going to start them off with the kill. The flashes are going to come out. They're going to go ahead and go onto the site, and a lot of damage. They're going to end up killing Messi, but Xiao Qiulan looking for the triple. Isn't able to find it, but should be enough to close out the round. 7 doesn't have the bomb. He's going to be able to pick it up and try and make a round of this. But with all 3 members of AE on full health, he's going to need to find a pick here before he plants. And considering that all 3 members here from AE are together, it's going to be super difficult unless he can find this one. Oh, it's just so hard. They've set up such good positions here. AE in between both sites, all 3 together. Although, as I say that, they start to go on the roam here. And will 7 check the box? He's going to start it off there. He's going to check the box. Oh, the belief was real there for a second. He had called the play out there from AE. Looking like he was going to turn that one around into the 1-on-1 with the bomb. But loses the duel there through the box. And will we see the silent A execute again? I don't know if it'll work again. But they are playing it slow. And they haven't thrown anything yet. And they're doing it again. They're creeping in. And it looks like it's going to work again. They're going to get into the site again with the man advantage. But Messi's in a good position here this time. And they have no idea he's there. He's going to take down 2 as the planters go down. Oh, he's looking for 3 there. Snox gets one onto... and it's going to end up going in the way of Flipside. It looked for a minute there like he was just going to get the clean ace as he was in such a good position there. And that's going to put us onto map point here for Flipside. AE going to need to put 2 rounds in a row together here to stave that off and prevent the map 3 coming out. And XQL looking like he got spotted out there. But a nice grenade. Ooh, and Shishi going to take one down there onto Snox. But going to be evened out there by the duo of Dennis and FaZe in mid. And now into a 4-on-4 situation. Both teams playing 2 to each side currently, but the bomb's starting to rotate over towards A. And AE starting to rotate over towards B. And looking like changing positions there is XQL after the recent rounds, but they're not going to do the silent one this time, and they flashed him out of that in that position, and they're going to get onto the site again here free. Shishi looking for it from distance. It's not an easy shot to hit, and should be considering that as a possibility. Oh, excuse me. It was a 4-on-3 there. I missed something there unless... No, there's no way he got out. XQL got out. Shishi going to open it up here. Taking one down. Going to need to close out this 2v3 here. 7 peeking. And wins the duel. And now it's the 2v1. And they've closed it out there. And that's going to be the map win on Ankara for AE. or excuse me, for Flipside. And how about that? I had pretty much wrote this one off after the port performance, where AE takes port something like 10-5, and just the way that the team looked there on the Flipside side, he just thought it kind of feels like it might be over. But Flipside picking up, I believe, their first map win on Ankara for the CFPL, and well done by them. That was a very interesting round, or very, very interesting from them. I really liked the silent A execute from them, where they don't throw their flashes in. They have a smoke on the front door, and then they creep into tunnel together. And if they don't see anybody, they just continue to creep and use that cover to their advantage. So that even if somebody's playing at the base of the stairs, the first time they have any notification that they're coming through is actually when they cross that window. And you get so close onto the site that, and you get to keep more utility. I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention when that execute's been run by other teams, or if that's just an innovation here by Flipside, but it's been super interesting. Don't know if the break will be long enough for me to hop in and ask the Chinese casters what their opinion is on it. But big win there against AE in map 2 for Flipside. They will have a chance to take this 2-1 over AE, but only the slimmest of chances, as our final map, as always, is Team Deathmatch on Mexico. And they're going to have to find some real magic and some miracles here, as still looking like they've got a ways to go here. Both Flipside and Penta looking like they have a good long while here before they can consider Mexico Team Deathmatch in their map pool, which is super unfortunate, as it is the deciding map for every game here for every match here in CFPL. It used to be the number 2 map, but for this season, in order to even things out, make it a little bit more even here for the European teams, they did move it to the 3rd map. Here again, looking at social media, and pretty much everyone just keeps saying Emzin here as their response, talking about his vision and mind for the game. Every team could use an Emzin, and I could certainly agree with that. Every team could use an Emzin, assuming he speaks all conceivable languages. That would be helpful in that situation, as I don't know how much help that would be to an English-speaking team or a German-speaking team like Penta or Flipside. This one talking about White Shark as their favorite. He's always been the top of the ladder. And then after he started his own club, and he also was able to get the CFPL championship, which is true. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this one also talking about Emzin, Niempeng, MP, and Dono, as well as White Shark. So, some good names there on that list. I didn't quite get a chance to read it fast enough. It was a bit unfair, the speed reading coming out. But already job done here for Flipside, especially, well, I think probably what's going to haunt them today is that they finally pick up a win here on Ankara, but then lose their map pick in Port, which is... So I think here we are going to see this A execute, and I believe this is the silent execute with the delayed join here by... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one where they just don't throw anything, or they toss... Wait a second. Where is Seven's grenade aimed? He's got a flash in hand. But I'm almost positive that flash doesn't come in this direction. Yet, no equipment comes out here. The flash, they do have some idea late into the round. But the rotation... But because of how close quarters they get before it happens... Oh, okay, so this is like the second or third time they've tried to run it here. And AE up more ready for it this time. And Messi looking like he was just going to sweep everybody up. Dennis wisely just falls back and dances around. And eventually finds the jumping headshot. And he and Creed's able to find one apiece and close it out there. That was the last round of the of the match, I do believe. But that quiet execute onto A, I think, is something we'll be seeing more of, as it's super interesting. Although we do often see players holding in tunnels, but we'll be back with Mexico TD after this break. Welcome back here to our match between Flipside and Acme Exclamation. Taking it the distance here is Flipside. After losing on Port, they bring it back on Ankara. Two big surprises for me in both directions. I definitely thought we would see Flipside with maybe one of their first opportunities to pick up a win once the Port came out, but the big question was gonna be, can they manage to keep Ankara even close? As it seemed like Port was gonna be that map where like it's guaranteed gonna go real close. If AE's gonna take it, it's gonna be like 10-8 or something like that. They take it 10-5, but then lose Ankara to Flipside. Unfortunately, they're going to have to climb the monolith, which is Mexico TD against a Chinese team. And most likely we will see the 2-1 go in favor here of AE. But again, all we just want to see is improvement. If they can keep cutting down the margin by which they lose in Mexico TD, then there is eventually a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because Flipside really would have had a lot of opportunities to take 2-1 victories here if their TD could hold up. So it's quite unfortunate that, as it is in its current state, it's pretty hard for that to happen. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion that AE will win. There is technically a snowball's chance in hell, which is, like the tiniest, the most remote possibility that Flipside pulls out a miracle here. Let's see if they can do it. Mexico TD for the decider here between Flipside and AE. And here we go. Who will draw first blood here in Team Deathmatch? It's gonna be 2-star. And he's gonna get 2 to his name. He's looking for more. He's gonna pick up the 3rd. Starting it off strong here. Double kill though in response from Creeds. But opening it up here with an early advantage. Nothing too crazy from AE. But of course, it is important to keep your eye on map pressure here. And again, as we see so often here between the European teams and the Chinese teams, is that they seem to be able to keep some amount of map pressure on the weak side, this side, but not without completely sacrificing almost all of their strong side pressure. And again, they're going to try and use this weak side pressure to try and take middle house, I imagine. And unfortunately, going to get stuffed here by XQL. And we should start to see a lead build up here for AE, unless Snox can... Oh, he can't manage to break the line there. And yeah, the full court press here on the strong side is going to continue here from AE. But until they can nail down at least some map pressure on this weak side, which they're having trouble doing at the moment, their lead won't grow too quickly. If they can close this out here, and that could do it. Although 7 can make a big play there to keep them from getting that spawn camp that AE's still trying to close the noose here. and starting to commit a little bit more resources to the weak side, and still really unable to do it. And that's going to be flip side. Stay in this here. If they can now use that to transition to the strong side, they still can't break out of this though. They're going to need to use their weak side pressure to take middle house here. Taking a look at frags, it is XQL sitting at 8, but 2-star with that 12 to his name. Gonna put 2 more on that list as he takes down Dennis and Creeds. And in danger here, it does look like they have closed the noose now, AE. They have full map pressure. Couple of nice kills there. Could get Flipside out of it, though. And another nice kill there by FaZe should let them out of the situation. And already better here from Flipside on Team Deathmatch. Look at that. They've stayed within 2 now. And they might even take the lead here. They're looking to take the lead. They've got map pressure here on the strong side and the weak side. They need to be able to close it off here. Can't get anybody on the upper levels, though. And they will let AE out of it. But if they can keep this up here, Flipside, and manage, well, I'm not sure what happened here. They just completely conceded the strong side pressure there on boxes. And 7 looking for the steal of home. Only going to get 1 for his trouble, though, because AE sent all their forces down, sent most of their people down to the strong side here, and now Shishi holding it. They're going to try it. Oh, but Flipside will take middle house here. And if XQL goes down here, they could be able to turn that into the pressure again. But Snox is going to trade it out there. He's going to get a double for himself. And it's still close here from Flipside. 2-star looking for that home steal, and he got 3. High now using that. Does look like they might be able to close this complete map pressure in. But again, 7 relieves it from that wide angle. And going to start filtering towards that strong side and get wiped out. And this could be really the first real lead we see here out of 2-star. Or excuse me, out of AE. Yeah, and it will go ahead and start to separate a little bit here. Up to 6. Flipside going to need to break out together here and not get mowed down. 2-star going to get traded out, and that's a good start. And they're going to go ahead and use arches here again. And 7, what a shot there onto Messi. He was waiting for that repeated play from 7 that's come from that angle, and he couldn't find it. But they do get a nice wipe there onto Flipside, and that's going to put the lead back at 8 and give them a chance to get more here as they're locked in spawn right now. Flipside, they're going to have to break out as a team again. They've been doing well at it so far, and it looks like they might do it once more. Can't find a kill there, but Dennis has his back and picks it up onto Messi. Nice kill there from Hao, looking for more. Just as you can see, they just, once you're able to get that kind of map pressure, you can just pre-fire those angles. And it kind of takes the excuse me, something in my eye. It takes the skill a lot out of the team deathmatch, and it then becomes, which is why map pressure is so important. 2-star in Flipside's base, but can't find a kill. He's been there for a good little while here now. He will find it there onto FaZe, and that will be his second, actually. And he's going to be a thorn in the side of Flipside that they're going to need to remove before they can get back out onto the map. Creed's going to pick up a 3K there, though, and that should give them, well, the 4K. And this is what I've been saying we haven't yet seen really from the Flipside or Penta, is the ability for someone to go out there and get that 4 or 5K to get you back into the game and back out onto the map. In trouble getting backstab there. He does read it out, but not in time, as XQ will get to pick up a 3K for himself, and 2-Star going to clean out the remainder of the house. How going to play it slow here. He's gotten in close. And again, towards Arches here, where we've seen Flipside prefers to play Team Deathmatch. And I've not really seen that work out too well for them yet. But it's looking a lot better this one. They're still staying close here. They're within striking distance. And it's been Creeds who's been having quite a good day of it here so far. So you get that 21-20 mark. Snox at 17 and 21. And 7 within the positive. Ooh, she's going to pick up 3 though. And now they're starting to pull away here a little bit. Is AE. Now 15 all of a sudden, actually. I stopped to look at frags and it got out of control really quickly. And yeah, it is AE who does have that full map pressure, but it looks like Flipside managed to wipe them and get back out there, although they just, I feel like it's always the case where not barring the beginning of the match, it's always the Chinese team who's able to have the faster pace getting back out onto the map. Flipside will get like a 3K like that right there, and then I think it's just mainly lack of experience on the map that you just don't know how much room you can take off of how many kills you get. Because, I mean, what we saw, basically AE get completely wiped, and it was still them who managed to get all the way back with full map pressure again onto Flipside. Like, 7 is just, he's moving through that area so slowly. And he could actually come back from it, and would be a nice play there, but it's actually going to get cleaned up there by his teammates. And taking strong side pressure here. Flipside could have a chance to get back into it. Oh, just can't quite find it though. But definitely continued improvement here from Flipside. And this is already the closest it's been. Well, barring AE getting 35 kills in a row here. It already looks a lot better here from Flipside. They spent a lot less time locked into their spawn in this one than in any other. It is at 12 kills here. I would consider it not quite over if it were another team here. For sure you would still think that there's a chance. And it's actually, the gap is closing. It's down to 10. It's down to 9. Is the belief real? It's down to 8. It's down to 7. It's down to, yeah, it's down to 7, right? Yeah, down to 7. Back up to 8 and back up to 9. Ugh. The belief was real. For a second, the belief was real. Can they come back and run it back here, Flipside? Oh, not looking like it. Nice headshot there from 2-Star. And it's back up to 12 with only 18 left in it. So pretty much not doable. But for a second there, they pulled it, I think, for like a fraction of a second. They pulled it to within 6. Which, it's so much better out of Flipside. And I don't know if it could be related to AE in some way, but they been much better at relieving pressure once they've been under it. We haven't seen, they haven't just been, oh, that's a 4K for Shishi looking for more. Can he find it? Who is top fragging over here for AE? And that will be Shishi. Just by one though, XQL gonna look to try and earn it back. I would say the one main thing I still notice here from Flipside, the biggest improvement we see is that they're finding ways to relieve pressure. Whether it's from 7 cutting from that mid angle and relieving pressure that way. It is Messi going to close it out there. Or, and congratulations, of course, to AE with the 2-1. But that was already pretty much known. But much closer there than any team deathmatch we've seen from any Western teams. And you can see definitely a little bit of smiles on the faces of Flipside. I think they should be happy. I think they should be really happy with their performance on Team Deathmatch. And as well as Ankara. I think we saw a lot of improvement out of Flipside that they showed today, because you definitely wouldn't expect that kind of performance on those 2 maps from them. I wonder exactly how real the fear there was once it started to get tight there again, really close to the end, and for how long Flipside has stayed with it. As not only does Flipside know that they shouldn't win Team Deathmatch, but every single viewer in China knows that no Western team should win Team Deathmatch for at least a good little while here. Like, even in this season would be too early without getting flamed to oblivion. I know for a fact that if AE had lost Team Deathmatch there, they would have gotten torn apart on the internet. The memes would have been so real. But I don't think AE was playing it especially bad. I think we saw definite improvement. Definite improvement from Flipside on Team Deathmatch. Again, what I was saying was they found ways to break out of that full map pressure. The one thing the most noticeable thing they're still lacking, I said it during the match, was that ability to press once they get those kills. Once they are able to pick up 3-4 members on the enemy team, then take the space that has then been given up by the enemy team. Instead of holding your positions, you have to move up and try and turn the advantage, turn those kills into map pressure, and continue to try and bottle up the spawn. Because if everyone's coming out of spawn, there's a lot less directions to look to kill them. There's only a couple of places they can pop out. And you... Oh, well. Again, here looking at some social media, discussing both 70kg and Mzin. Tell you about Mzin, he always comes up with some strats that nobody else could ever think of. Here, discussing, again, Mzin, NP, Dono, and White Shark before he had retired. Mzin, no need to say it. Oh man, I don't know. It's too long. It's too long. I already feel defeated. I only got like halfway through it, and I already feel defeated. I just gave up. I thought it was gonna disappear, and now it hasn't. Now I feel like a bit of a fool. Because when I couldn't get there in time. In my heart, I can only say in my heart that number two most important player for me is Lolong. He's playing over there on Lolong is on TDCQ now? Yes, TDCQ. But again, I think most important thing to take away here is that there is improvement, at least a substantial improvement there from Flipside. They took Ankara off of AE and challenged for most of the time there on Team Deathmatch. They're going to be rewarded with 1 point here, but AE will be taking home that 2-point advantage there. They will be taking 2 home with them. Of course, don't forget, we will be here tomorrow with these 2 matches on your screen here. A huge match for both of them. Both teams in huge matches is here. Both AG and Q9 tied there for second place. And Penta and MGC at the bottom of the table. Just only a little bit of separation here between them. Will be Penta's best chance for a win here yet. They're gonna hope for that 2-0, and MGC's best chance for a 2-0. It'll be very, very interesting there between them. Could be tight. I have no idea how that second match is gonna play out. I think that first match will probably go to 3. Q9 looking strong there pretty recently, although they did drop a map there to Penta, but certainly gonna be 2 interesting matches for us tomorrow, so definitely come back and join us again. 6 p.m. China time. Be there.